Welcome to Free Media. I'm Amber Duke.
And I'm Robby Soave. Hunter Biden attacked Democratic Party leadership, calling them out-of-touch losers in a profanity-laden interview with independent YouTuber Andrew Callaghan. Let's watch.
For some reason, the intelligentsia of the Democratic Party, with 2020 hindsight, believes that Joe Biden should have considered not running again because of their perception that he was too old. And so then the drumbeat began. And the New York Post wrote, the New York Times, on a near daily basis, egged on by the Pod Save America saviors of the Democratic Party, with four white millionaires that are dining out on their association with Barack Obama from 16 years ago, living in Beverly fucking Hills, telling the rest of the world what black voters in South Carolina really want, or what the women in the waitress living outside of Green Bay, Wisconsin really believes. What the fuck? I can't believe that we do this over and over again.
Hunter also explained that he thinks the sleep drug Ambien was the reason that his dad appeared sluggish and incoherent during his infamous debate against Trump. Let's watch.
And it was that one debate that caused the full backslide.
Yeah, man. And I'll tell you what, I know exactly what happened in that debate. He flew around the world, basically, the mileage that he could have flown around the world 3 times.
Yeah.
He's 81 years old. He's tired as shit. They give him Ambien to be able to sleep. He gets up on the stage, and he looks like he's a deer in the headlights. And it feeds into every fucking story that anybody wants to tell. And Jake Tapper, with literally how many anonymous sources. If this was a conspiracy, Andrew, you know this. Somehow, the entirety of a White House in which you literally living on top of each other has kept their mouth shut about, like what? And what's the conspiracy?
Yeah.
That Joe Biden got old? Yeah, he got old. He got old before our eyes. The people that came out against him were who? Nobody, except Speaker Pelosi, Speaker Emeritus Pelosi, did not give a full-throated endorsement.
This was a lot of quality content. I don't know what else to say. It
3 hours of pure gold.
Pure gold. It is just entertaining. There's no way around it to hear him say, F this person, James Carville, the Jon Favreau team, Nancy Pelosi, all the way down. It was very entertaining. It was interesting to listen to. It wasn't really correct in its politics, because he was basically mad at those people for turning on Joe Biden, although turning on Joe Biden was obviously the politically correct thing to do. If anything, they waited far too long. So, his advice is not good. But, there's kind of something to what he's saying about, these people, they got lucky with Obama, and then even before that, with their advice is Clintonian from an era of politics that has no relevance to us now. Why are we listening to them? But of course, Biden himself owes his presidential success, at least, to his association with Obama, and Hunter Biden personally owes what little sort of financial, it's not even success, just financial position to his dad's name. So he's not a good messenger for this at all, but I was entertained.
I was entertained too. Jeff Ingersoll, who was formerly at the Daily Caller, now at NJC, said that the left has found its Joe Rogan, which I think is just perfect, right?
That is not wrong. He was fun to listen to, and it was a little bit like even the podcast that Gavin Newsom was doing, where the swearing and hectoring does actually seem to come naturally to him, he's not trying to be more aggressive or something. It
wasn't like
is.
Alyssa Slotkin,
right?
It
didn't sound
yeah.
Exactly. That sounded like who he is. It sounded genuine, and it was great to listen
sound
to.
genuine. It seemed authentic. I think you're right that there were a lot of wrong conclusions made by that years-long drug-addled brain, but he talked about the debate, and I'll get into the Ambien part in a second, but he said, well, Joe Biden was just so tired because he had flown around the world 3 times in the presidency. Okay, he also had 10 days at Camp David before the debate to prepare and rest up, so come on. But the Ambien thing is interesting because we have not had any public acknowledgement that Joe Biden was on any prescription medication outside of things like statins and other things that old people take, Centrium and things of that nature. And I went back and checked the 2024 physical from Dr. Kevin O'Connor. No mention of Ambien. So this is actually quite the revelation.
It was in the page where it said he had cancer that they just didn't disclose to anyone.
The one that came out after he left office? Yeah.
No, my point being, they knew. They knew.
Of course,
they just didn't let us know.
Yes, of course. It was a cover-up. They didn't put it in there. And what are some of the side effects of Ambien? Delirium, confusion, stumbling, mental
Tweeting
lapses.
like Roseanne Barr.
There you go.
Yeah. So this is not, so that was interesting. It's not really an excuse for her as his performance at all. We should touch briefly on who is this guy interviewing him? I didn't really know him. Maybe I've seen him before. This is gonna sound mean. He kind of looked odd.
I thought it was a bit. It looked like he was doing a bit.
Like a fake interview, but it was
But it was real. Like the way the hat is sort of sitting on top of the head rather than actually on it. The whole clothing was really strange, but apparently this guy is a very popular independent journalist. A friend of mine who is really into that online space said that a few years ago his content was getting like millions of views every episode he posted, but I'm with you, I did not hear of him until the Hunter Biden interview dropped.
Good job, because he mostly just let Hunter talk.
Yeah.
And talk and talk, which that's what viewers want more of. These, interview format, the Rogan type format is just getting longer and longer and longer, where you just let the guest talk for as long as they want, and you let people decide what they think is the model of the future. So he did a great job. He did a correct job. It was cool that he landed it. It seemed easy to do. It seems like Hunter Biden is very eager to talk to basically anyone, which I don't think is a good thing for the Democratic Party, but he wants to do it all. Jamie Harrison had him on.
At Our Table or whatever the heck it's called. They get 70 views an episode. It's a banger DNC podcast, and
there's going to be too many Democratic Joe Rogans soon.
That's right. Yeah, Tim Kaine was on not Tim Kaine. Tim Walz was on the first one.
Easy mistake to make.
Yeah, and then Hunter Biden was on the second one. Hunter Biden should have been the first episode of the Jamie Harrison podcast. But there were a couple of other, I guess, funny moments in the Hunter interview, including him describing in great detail how to make crack cocaine, because he said he was so desperate sometimes not being able to find it to purchase. He learned how to make it himself. And then he also said that it's actually healthier for you than alcohol. So that, just so you know, Robby, you and I, compared to Hunter Biden, we could die at any second.
I am here for contrarian substance abuse opinions. That's a staple of Reason magazine.
Sure.
So I might
Hunter Biden, libertarian.
I might not dispute that. And we actually have a great piece in Reason that I think even you would appreciate, Amber, despite having different drug policy views than us, from Jacob Solom, who spoke with someone who is imprisoned for exactly the same things that Hunter was charged with and got off with. So
the gun or the tax stuff?
I haven't read it yet, so that was a
what
good
the
call
heck?
out. But I was told it was a really good piece.
I'm sure it's great.
Yeah. All right, coming up, we've got much more on free media. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back right after this.